Do you worry about your kids being on the internet? If the answer is yes, then know that you're not alone. This is one of the biggest problems that my mums that I work with talk about. So I am Jo Obisujima. I work with mums who are building their business around their family. I'm a best-selling Montessori author, and I create interactive educational escape room virtual games for kids, well, for families. So getting back to internet safety, 3 things you should be doing. The first one is talk to your kids. Get proactive and talk to them. So if they don't know the dangers, they can't look out for the signs, and what are they going to do? You don't send your kids to play on the road without talking to about the dangers of the road. So the internet should be the same thing. So every day, just bring it into conversation, slide it in somewhere while you're on the way to school, or you're in the car, or cooking dinner, and just talk about the things that are going on the internet and things that they should be aware of. Now, there's a lot that goes into internet safety, from passwords to grooming to clickbait to porn, it's all out there. So you don't need to sit down and do it all in one go. That's just too much and would be very uncomfortable for both you and the kids. So I really recommend just maybe picking one thing and concentrate on that for the day, and then the next day or a couple of days later talk about something else. So this should be a continual conversation, so your kids feel comfortable talking to you about it, you feel comfortable talking to them, and it's this two-way build of trust, because that's going to be really important. The second thing is grooming. Now, this is the one, along with porn. Grooming and porn are the two that really scare parents about their kids being on the internet. So talk to your kids that you don't need to go into all the gritty details of what grooming is, but they should know enough to be able to see the signs if somebody approaches them or they think that somebody may be trying to groom them. And again, this goes back to trust. So you've got to build that trust up with your child, and then having these conversations, talk to them about what it will look like if somebody was trying to groom them. What are the signs and what to do if that happens, or they know that's happening to one of their friends. So again, it's all down to conversation and talking to your kids. Now, if you're not really sure where to start with all this, depending on the age of your kids, if they're tweens and up, I really recommend watching The Social Dilemma. If you feel like your kids are already out there on the internet and you've missed the boat, again, go and watch The Social Dilemma and do it as a family, because that's going to give you a great conversation starters for all things internet related. And don't forget, we are, as parents, the first generation that is going through this. Nobody else has had to teach internet safety to their kids before. So we're kind of just feeling our way through. And so the third thing is really just to be proactive and let your kids use the internet. And I know that sounds really scary. There are things that you can do with browsers and parental controls, locking out certain sites and things, and that is a good idea, but they're not infallible, and kids can get onto undesirable sites accidentally, even if they're not actually going and searching for that stuff. So be proactive and set up the computer or whichever gadget your kids are using to make them more child safe, but know that that isn't the be all or end all, which is why you need to be doing 1 and 2, having these conversations. And then let your kids use the computer, but do it in a way so that, not that you're hovering over them, because nobody wants that, but maybe you look at something together. Maybe you could be doing some research together, or you're planning a day trip or something. Get them onto the computer and typing in to find the search terms to look for the place wherever it is that you want to go or whatever. So give them a bit more leeway on the computer, allow them more time, and by that you can bring up the conversations again. If you see a clickbait title that pops up in an ad somewhere, you can explain why it's clickbait and why they shouldn't click it. And again, it's just having this chance to have the conversations. So I hope that helps. If you need any more help, give me a shout. Quick recap. One, be proactive. Talk about internet safety. That includes stranger danger, or tricky people, as it's known these days. So that was number 2. And 3 is let them have the wheel. Give them chance to use the internet, but in a controlled way, so that you can see what's going on and feel your way through it. I know there's like places like YouTube, if you let them on there, within 2 clicks they could be onto something you have no idea. So it really is important to help your kids make wise decisions, and know that they are going to Google stuff. We were no different when we were kids. Hands up if you ever looked up a rude word in a dictionary. So keep that in mind, but talk to them, get that trust going, so that that's not going to be a problem in the future. All right, if this was useful, give me a thumbs up, a like, a share, and I will see you next time.